Yes, sir. Welcome, everybody. Yeah. Getting it in tonight. Yeah, we're going to get it in tonight. Yeah. Yeah.
Once again, it's all.
Yeah. Welcome, sister in the building. First tonight. Shalom.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, my sister.
Hey,
Love you.
T, how you doing?
Yeah. Corey in the building. Car. Yes. Kiara in the building with some neighbor.
Yeah, how you doing, man?
Yeah.
Man, tonight's electric, bruh.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's really different reading pages and digital.
Yeah.
It's night and
Totally
day
different.
difference, y'all. You gotta have both experiences, you know?
Gotta have it. Gotta feel
You
it.
know? You gotta go full form, you know, to really get this, you know? It's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Progression, my brother.
It is definitely a progression. We got good show. We are in chapter 10 tonight. Maccabees. It is December 10th. We talking alignment here. Y'all may think that's something just we happen to be on the 10th chapter on the 10th day, the last day of the Feast of Dedications, but that
So it works out the synchronicity thing. You don't try to force it. You just step into the way.
you just enjoy. Yeah, you just like our 432 drop. Shouts out to 432 drop. Just riding the wave.
Yeah,
man.
as long as you out there and you on that board and you got them arms going,
Yeah.
you moving. Then when that wave come, you just get up on that board. But if you ain't moving, then you're gonna miss the wave.
You will miss the wave.
Then you're gonna hear somebody else talk about that wave.
You don't want nobody else to talk about the wave. You can sitting there on the sideline. Wait, hold up.
You gotta wait for them to move away. Like, I know that wave. I know that wave. Yeah. Yeah. Woo.
But so we're going to start off with a little music tonight because we got a lot to talk about. Not only are we going to go into Maccabees, and this is a triumphant time for the Maccabees, for the Judah clan, but Jonathan leading
Yes,
the
it
new
is.
Judah clan. So so that's what we're gonna deal with tonight. But tonight, before we get into that, we're gonna play a little bit of music. Hold weight. The name holds weight.
Yeah, that song's something else,
and
man.
our words hold weight.
Every day.
We were talking just about before I even started, right? Prefix it. This week was very spiritual.
That's an understatement.
We went to the mounds on Sunday.
Yes.
The Indian mounds on Sunday in Mississippi.
The Pocahontas Mounds.
The Pocahontas mounds in Mississippi.
Yes.
Very spiritual. Brought out a lot of energy. Felt very fulfilling,
Like we came full circle, like we did something that the ancestors have been like waiting. Because they know once you get there, freedom, another type of freedom awaits you.
Yeah.
And I felt set free in a whole different way.
What my brother just said. I want to connect what he just said about doing the work of our ancestors unknowingly, right? I think that's what you were alluding to by saying,
That's what I read about.
Exactly.
That's who built the connections never made. That's why there's so much confusion, because the connections never made.
Yeah.
They take these indigenous people, put them over here. They take these people in the scripture, they put them over here.
Yeah.
And they compartmentalize them so you don't make the connection.
In modern times, we call that paper genocide. So when they move lands, rename the land, then rename the people, disperse the people,
Move in
then
new
name the
people.
land another thing, then why not that? Let's just name a whole new section of the world that was never named that before.
Yeah.
Move the people, change their names several times. Let's see if they can find it.
It's a thing that happens, yo.
But when you're seeking him, and that's the thing that we talk about the most on this show, is seeking the Most High. It's not believing what we say. It's not believing the scriptures as we read them. This is a full contact sport. right? I really want you to understand that your
Discernment's important,
discernment is
right?
extremely
You don't just step on a football field,
important.
right? Because it's a full contact sport. You really think about it. Am I fit for this?
Right.
Can I run fast enough? Because you know this dude's going to be hitting you on the other side.
Hard. Because that's his job.
Discernment.
So, as we're about to open the show, and we got some people in now, so I feel good to open the show. But as we'll finish up this point, when you start seeking the Father, you start seeking your spiritual center, when you start seeking what is past, when you start seeking past what has been given to you as a story, as a script, as whatever you want to call it, that's not important. When you make the decision that you want to connect to your spiritual soul, you want to connect with your soul and you want to connect with your spirit, clearly. You want to say, I'm tired of what the physical world has to offer me. I want to find something bigger and better than this world, that explains this world and that explains me, tells me why and where I fit in this landscape. That's why we say don't believe us. The seeking, this search for your spirit is a full contact sport.
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna lose people, you're gonna body some people. You know what I'm saying? And I mean that literally.
And you might not, though. It might just be like rainbows and butterflies.
I pray that for you. I pray for that for you. You know what I'm saying? I pray for anybody that's getting all the demons out their life, that it is like skipping through a prairie and seeing butterflies land on your shoulder. Yeah.
Yeah.
I pray that your walk can be so blessed. But what I do notice is that your walk, no matter what you do, whether you're rocking for the other side or you're rocking for this side, is going to be rough terrain. Period. So, always saying, I don't want to go too far out of it, full contact sport in finding your spiritual center, in finding Yahweh, in finding the Most High. This is a full contact sport. So you have to be ready to engage this. Not just sitting in your home reading or sitting in your home meditating and thinking everything is going to come to you. You have to physically put your energy out in order to receive the energy that you're looking for, the knowledge, the wisdom, the Most High that you're looking for.
But what if I'm shy, though? What if I'm shy and I really don't want to talk to people? You know, like I'm like, you know, I just, you know, I get what's happening. I'm going back to source energy. I feel the changes, but I'm just shy. You know, I don't want to, like, what do I do then? What do you recommend?
I believe in your meditation, the Most High is going to tell you what moves to make. It is not for us to tell anyone or for you to tell anyone exactly what their path is. Because you are not the Most High, nor are you his son on the right hand, nor are you the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit. None of those are titles that we can hold. So what we have to do is understand that when we meditate, we read, we meditate, you will get the instructions to go forward. If you are shy and you are, what did you say, an introvert?
Yeah.
Then you have to have faith. That's a thing we've been talking about, that faith, huh?
How do you define something like that, though? Because everybody talks about it. What you call had a song about it. You gotta have faith. You know what I mean?
George Michael.
Yeah, everybody, you know, like, what is it? What is it, man? Everybody's trying to get to it. You know, you say you gotta have faith.
And what we mean by the faith is, you can't, people say they can't believe in something they can't touch. Well, see, the work is the touch. Because as you go to do the work in seeking him, you're going to see his movement. If you are so arrogant that you believe that by reading and meditating that now the Most High is supposed to enter your living room and sit down with you and y'all do a life plan together, that's what's going to happen. You are going to sit there. You're going to pray. You're going to read as many books as you can read. You're going to put yourself in your ivory tower. You're going to just go to work, come home and read. And he's going to come down that chimney. And y'all just going to have a life. Y'all going to sit down and do a life plan. And he's going to tell you who to talk to, how to do it. And he's going to move all this out the way.
I don't know.
It's a beautiful idea. It's a beautiful plan. It's a thought. It's great.
You can't fault them for dreaming.
Can't fault them for dreaming. But since that's not reality and we are dealing with reality and we're dealing with real answers for reality and we're dealing with how to decipher and discern reality, we're going to go with that. So in this walk, when you should be searching or doing activities to reach to the Most High, to edify His name, in that we have been going to all of as many mounds as we can go to connect.
Yes.
And not just reading a book about the Mississippi mound builders being Hebrews, and that the artifacts that they found there were all written in Black Hebrew before.
Come on, y'all.
Before the Greeks became the Pharisees and the Sadducees and took over.
Think about it,
and
y'all.
made the Jewish religion. Right?
This is here.
This is right here in New Orleans. We went to the one in Mississippi, but there's one in Baton Rouge that we're going to be going back to this week, which is older than the mounds in Monroe, Louisiana, which is known as Poverty Point. Please, YouTube, Google Poverty Point. Yes. It is the oldest indigenous civilization or oldest civilization known to man in the world. It's a UNESCO site. So, in us, our heritage and lineage and forefathers' footsteps, right? We have been receiving signals, energy.
Yeah. It happens.
You cannot do it.
It's a real thing.
And in that, when you receive those signals and you receive those energy, then that becomes the fuel and the foundation of your faith.
It's a real thing, brother. If you work out a bunch, you release endorphins, you actually start to want more. Mm-hmm. Because it's like a painkiller almost. So when you work out your spiritual muscles, it's a spiritual endorphin that's being released.
Absolutely.
And it's the same, to me, it's the exact same thing.
Exact same thing. Yeah. So we were blessed and to be able to go out there to Mississippi, and we're going to give you some information on the Pocahontas mounds that's in Mississippi, which is a quick lesson, quick history thing. Remember, Pocahontas is the oldest, or the first, let's not say oldest, it's the first Black community of the colonies.
Yes.
So it's in Virginia to this day. And it is named after the true woman Pocahontas, the daughter of Powhatan, who was the chief of that entire area that unfortunately when the British, the Europeans came here, and the way that they got into our community was they married into our community. They married the chief's daughter, they married anybody's daughter they could get a hand on. Really,
married the chief's daughter, and the chief dies.
What
well, the brother might still be around, so the brother's got to die.
Brother's got to die too, and in this story he did.
The wife dies, then you're technically the chief, and you can pick anybody you want to be your wife at that point, and they're you see, it just gets murky.
You see how quickly that happens, though. I mean, when it starts, the slippery slope happens. It goes quick, baby. You know what I'm saying? It
Fire, power. Bang, bang. Things happen a little faster.
A little faster. But you know what? Now we got enough people in. Let's go ahead and open up the show. Welcome to the Hebrew state of being. We are your humble servants and hosts for tonight. I am Kyle.
And I am Oba. Welcome.
Welcome. Shalom. So we are at the last day of the Feast of Dedications. This feast that we do every year is to look like we're slipping. Our feast. Yeah, let me go ahead and grab that. So we don't celebrate holidays. We celebrate feast days because feast days reinforces who we are and why we are where we are. The same as holidays. Holidays was a Dutch designed holiday Christmas, which were some of the major oppressors and slavers here.
The
right?
slavers tradition.
So Christmas is that tradition, and it reinforces the altered reality in which you are given. So the feast days are for the reality of the Most High to be reinforced. And this particular feast days is when we beat down the Romans slash Dutch slash those people, right? You dig? We beat them after they defiled our temple. After they defiled and tore down our temple, we rebuilt it and rededicated. And that was during this 8 days. We rededicated our temple after pushing back the Romans. So that's what we're celebrating. So when we know that the Roman Catholic Church is Christian, and they were the same Christians that tore down our temple,
Yes.
and then now they've given us Satan, Santa Claus,
Satan
in all
Claus.
red,
And
they
Black
gave some
Pete.
nice little white,
But they
and
took
Black
away
Pete.
Black Pete, which was
Yeah,
rude.
America,
You thought I was gonna be people are gonna be stupid forever. Like we wouldn't find out about
Black Pete. This, like, they think that, if you uptown, you never go downtown. If you're downtown, you never cross the river, right?
Yeah.
The same thing about the knowledge of North America and this Christmas guy, this Satan guy.
They thought the blacks would never travel.
And they thought the whites neither, because the whites don't know it here either. The Caucasians are not aware of Black Pete in North America.
Maybe it's
not
the
their
best kept
fault.
secret though.
It is.
Maybe it's one of
is
those
for
things.
them.
Yeah, maybe when you leave, they're like, let's break out the Black Pete. You're
You're right. Everybody, you've
possibly. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm
they
just
could be
saying, like,
hiding
who
the
knows?
Black Pete
Who knows?
statue right behind the nativity scene.
The nativity scene. Oh my goodness!
nativity
I
scene.
wondered who the new black guy was in the scene. I've been trying
He
to figure
comes
this
from
out.
the Black Pete.
The
So
Black
if
Pete.
y'all don't know who Black Pete is? Did we not? Excuse us. When you leave outside of America and you go to the Netherlands, you go to Europe, their Christmas holiday is Saint Nick. There's no
yeah.
Jesus. It's Saint Nick.
Nah,
for them.
Saint Nick is there.
Saint Nick is
dabbing
the
and
G.
everything.
Yeah, Saint Nick is all in.
This is what happens.
Saint Nick had a side partner. Like in America, they turned him into a deer and called him Rudolph.
Oh, gangster! I never made that connection, my brother.
Yeah.
Kept him brown though. At least they kept him
At least
brown.
they kept him brown. So in America,
And his lips is red, but they made the nose red. That's so gangster. Wow. Whoa.
when you Google or YouTube Black Pete, you'll see what we're
We're
talking
gonna have
about
some
here.
pictures up for the holidays on the
Yeah, we're gonna
website.
definitely do the Black Pete for the holidays, for the holidays. So basically, in America, you got Rudolph to be the sidekick to Santa, to Saint Nick, because that's who Santa is representing, Saint Nicholas. In the Netherlands and Europe, where Saint Nick, the Germanic people, where Saint Nick came from, the true story is that his partner was Black Pete. Black Pete is a Moor.
Like More, like I want more ice cream.
No, like MOOR, like
Oh.
a double agent
Oh,
type.
like Northern
thing.
African,
Yeah.
just kind of everywhere, kind of people.
The Northern Africans, you always see them old slave things in Africa, and you see these black guys with
With
these
the
little
little
hats
red-
on, beating other black people.
And you're like, who?
That's the Moors.
That's strange. Oh,
That would be the Moors. But anyway, we digress on that because we want to get to our point. And while we're reading it, and tonight is the last night of the Feast of Dedication. So we're trying to wrap up these 3 points here. Last night of Feast of Dedications, full contact sport of finding your faith. And we're going to call it that, finding your faith. It's a full contact sport, finding your faith.
ooh, yes.
Don't rely on a book, on a YouTube, on a Facebook, or anything to define your faith. If you don't have a testimony, does he know you?
You ain't tested.
If you don't have a testimony of what he's brought you to, where you were down to your knees, your shoulders was broke, and he was the one that lifted you up, then you really just in this for the fanfare.
Yeah.
You just in it for the fanfare. If you ain't got no stripes and you ain't got no scars, anyway, so that's it. Last night, Feast of the Dedications, full contact sport to find your faith in the book of Maccabees, being our history, and we're reading chapter 10 tonight of the Feast of Dedication, showing and giving us the history on why the feast was enacted in the first place. So those are the 3 points that we're trying to give you guys tonight that we're working through. And all of that to say that his name holds weight. So we're going to give you this song before we go into the chapter 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. Peasy, Louis Misery, and Shy. Here come the Hebrews. Watch what you say. His name's hold weight. His name's hold weight. His name's hold weight. His name's hold weight. Hold weight.
You ain't gotta tell me names whole way. I'm calling a higher. Calling them back. Kicking them tables over. Just like you shy. Taking them download of the hard copy. Middle 2 by 2. These Hebrews be acting feminine. We call them 2 walk fools. Laughing at them. Same time, 1 foot past. I ain't trying to be the boys' favorite rapper. They only rap cause they Twitter popular. That's the difference between me and them. I'm the son of Jacob and the son of Sin. Don't rock on this one, go in. We don't go ham, but we go shit.
We gonna shim, baby.
We gonna go ham.
I tell you the truth, do what you do. I can't judge you like Gideon.
Yeah.
Born from my island, run 'cause my ghost rider workshop your island. I'm ready for that war, you know I'm a rider, live hand on my chest, put a head on my body. Yeah, every day I'm getting tested, but I don't fall, yes, that's progression. Gotta hold this, the do's and don'ts, just have a seat, yeah, that's a session. Praise the Father, yeah, that's a blessing. You relate to somebody in the same stages. Yeah, I love them when the beat bang, but you know they hate it when we're true to make it, yeah.
Everybody in the building tonight, man. Oh, praises. Ooh, you're deep in here tonight. We are deep in here tonight. Yeah, name hold weight. You one in the building. Derek in the building.
Take mind what you telling me, cause I sit through muddy water and I ain't buying no dreams. So you best watch what you selling me. Louis Misery out the STL, I'm out the triple D, but like we come from the same place. Cause you stated that you have to show me, and like I come straight out there, show me state. Show me I got you that's coordinate. Our powers that's correlate. And we live for your science, so if we inspire yourself, who ain't gonna resuscitate good truth? You ain't holy, but I still see through it. We are missing you, say recycling bin. The way you let you reuse, yeah. Try to walk my walk to the journey to the kingdom. Make it like a foot race. So you the fruit to the spring, but they be acting just like some foot race. I turn my cheek for his name's sake, but brother, I only have 2 of them. We with low flies, back personalities and vessels they be residing in. I take it from place to high the Lord, so that people watching is flying my floors. I feel that I hide about a few years somewhere. They have my power, you already know the way. Hating like we the star, but they got the power wrong. Show by the Father, Son, and the Spirit, man. If I'm super rude, shout this be my theme song. Every time they see us come.
Watch the demons shake when we come. Life and death is in your tongue, so watch what you say. His name's hold weight. His name's hold weight. His name's hold weight. Yeah. Your house was over 2,000 years. They didn't come until 1500.
I know the real name, at least.
Nah, our people lack more lack of knowledge. Perish.
It took your language away from me and stripped your away from me. Getting it back.
Don't let Lucifer fool you. Call on Jesus. Watch them demons shake when we come. Why? His name's hold weight. 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 Our Father, our Father,
I said, our Father who, our Father who, our Father who, hallowed be thy name. So wait.
Yeah. Woo. Woo. We just had to start off with that one, man. We had such a beautiful day out in Baton Rouge today, my brother.
Wow.
Yes. So, as we said, our history is out there to find. When you learn the names that have been changed through time, then you will understand why we say it is so important to understand that the name Jesus did not exist in the time of our Savior, Yahweh Shai, the Son of the Most High, that sits on his right hand side. Yahweh Bahashem HaMashiach, Yahweh Barakatah, Yahweh Shai Barakatah. So we are saying that the name matters because as the day we were in the meeting, and I kept butchering this beautiful young lady's name. I mean, absolutely butchering. She sat there politely. She didn't act as though she was totally upset that we continually butchered her name, right? But you know, it matters.
It does.
It matters. Oh, so now God is better and above all of that pettiness, so he wouldn't be concerned about a name. The God that I worship, he would not care what I call. He would know that I'm speaking to him.
Okay.
Let's think about that for 1 second. If in his words he says, my people perish for a lack of knowledge, one, said he will know his people when they come by their actions. That would be searching his real name if you were interested. I mean, if you're not...
Authenticity is not important to everyone, dude. People buy, their stuff. They buy GMO stuff.
They buy GMO. They buy the cheap version of
You know
everything.
what?
Generic. That's what they call it, generic.
Carbon copy.
Yes, the carbon copy generic.
If you know the other one's available and it's the same, sacrifice.
And it does kind of the same thing. That's what they always say. Aspirin, Tylenol, it's all, Tylenol just a name. It's aspirin is what it does, right? But you even spend when you really hurting though, right? Do you want generic? Do you want generic drugs when you're in pain? The doctor say, look, check this out.
I got the
stuff that works, right? I got the stuff that works. Then I got the dicey stuff, It could work. It works sometimes it doesn't. But it's absolutely the same thing. Got the same ingredients. Just different people made it. But it don't matter. It's got the same ingredients. Sometimes works, some.
And you in pain. You got like a toothache or a headache or a backache. And you like, no, I need to work.
Now, I don't know if you're in a situation in this world that you feel like right now is the best time for you to have your mind right and your soul right and your mind in the right place. I mean, right now would be a good time for me. I mean, I'm hurting. I'm still kind of hurting, but I
did a bunch. I need right now.
Yeah, I need that right now. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we mean by names hold weight. And understanding that Maccabees, Judas, Yahuda, since there was no J, Yahuda is how you pronounce Judah with no J. And the Wahudim is what we were called. That's why Yoruba is all part of that, right? Because no J's. You can find all of his people by maybe knowing his name. Oh!
It'll put a lot of things in perspective.
Put it in perspective for you. If you know the Most High's name, his people named themselves after that. When you look at the slave ships that came to New Orleans, their names had Yah in it.
Yeah. Yuda.
I mean, that's a mind twist right there, right? If you have a people, people now call themselves Danish because they're from wherever that place is. Denmark, they ain't whatever. you're American because you're from America, so you know, land of liberty. You know that some of y'all, you know, parent is liberty, mother liberty. You know, I'm not American in that sense. You know, I'm God's child. You know, I'm Yahweh's child. You know, I'm Yahweh's son. You dig? You see how interchangeable that is? Anyway, so Zeus, by the way, means son of Zeus, means Zeus' power. So anyway, you may want to know what Jesus means and what the etymology of that. So back to the names, back to why we're here. Stop being with the sarcasm. Let's get to the scriptures. We're going to go to the first 10.
This can
Let's
go on.
Yeah,
Yes.
I can get real.
This can go on.
Yeah. So as a recap, we just came out of 9. We lost the big brother, Judah. So now he gave his life valiantly on the battlefield. And now they with the Jews, well, the Hebrews through Assyria to the point that they had to have somebody rise from the ranks to lead them in war game. Because remember something very important that I think that you can relate to in this very day. That the people that were after the Hebrews then, it was never enough for them to be subjugated. They wanted to kill them. They wanted to wipe them off. It was never enough for Judah to comply. And I think if you look at the present situation of the so-called African American or the black or the Negro in America, one would say that
The projects are getting better every day. Every day, projects are getting better. Government cheese is upgraded. They don't do any more powdered cheese anymore.
That's what it is.
I think they're starting to gonna pass out some water now or something. Like, dude, things are changing.
things are changing, right?
Out, you know.
You got 5G coming. They got people
Yeah,
giving phones out wherever
5G
you
medicine.
go.
They're giving government phones out. Like, things are wonderful, guys.
What is wrong with you? Massive feed us red beans on Monday. We get fed on Wednesday. You only beat us once a month.
You don't want to.
You know what that beating is? We only get 1 or 2 of our kids sacrificed once a month by police brutality and killed. I mean, we got it good here.
Yeah.
We ain't like Baghdad. Huh?
Yeah. Actually, they got more folks dying here than over there ever. Black folks, ever. Between Chicago, New Orleans, and these different. New Orleans is going through a transformation right now. I'm not even gonna speak in that way.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that.
Yeah.
So
Forward.
we hope we wrapped everything up for you guys. So now Jonathan, Judah's younger brother, is asked by the tribe of Maccabees of Judas to come up and lead them against Demetrius and the many people that's trying to wipe us off the map, the Romans.
First Maccabees chapter 10. In the 160th year, Alexander, the son of Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, went up and took Ptolemy for the people and received him, by means whereof he reigned there. Now when King Demetrius heard thereof, he gathered together an exceeding great host, and went forth against him to fight. Moreover, Demetrius sent letters unto Jonathan with loving words, so as he magnified him. For said he, let us first make peace with him, before he join with Alexander against us. Else he will remember all the evils that we have done against him and against his brethren and his people.
Oh, he's gonna remember all that. So he's trying to smooth it out, trying to kiss a little butt after they've been
Little
beat.
brown note. Verse 6. Wherefore he gave him authority to gather together a host and to provide weapons that he might aid him in battle. He commanded also that the hostages that were in the tower should be delivered him. Then came Jonathan to Jerusalem and read the letters in the audience of all the people and of
No
them
secrets.
that were in the tower, who were sore afraid when they heard that the king had given him authority to gather together a host. Whereupon they of the tower delivered their hostages unto Jonathan, and he delivered them unto their parents. This done, Jonathan settled himself in Jerusalem and began to build and repair the city. And he commanded the workmen to build the walls and the Mount Sion round about the square stones for fortification, and they did so. Then the strangers that were in the fortress which Maccabees had built fled away, insomuch as every man left his place and went into his own country. Only at Bethsura certain of those that had forsaken the law and the commandments remained still, for it was their place of refuge. Now when King Alexander had heard of what promises Demetrius had sent unto Jonathan, when also it was told battles and noble acts which he and his brethren had done, and of the pains that they had endured, he said, Shall we find such another man?
No, you will not.
No.
No, you will not find another that has stuck to the Most High and stuck to the Melchizedek order, stuck to it.
Service of his people.
No matter what happened, good or bad, abound or abased, believing in their faith.
Yes. Verse 16. He said, Shall we find such another man? Now therefore, we will make him our friend and confederate. Upon this, he wrote a letter and sent it unto him according to these words, saying, King Alexander to his brother Jonathan, sending greeting. We have heard of thee, that thou art a man of great power, and meet to be our friend. Wherefore now this day we ordain thee to be the high priest of thy nation, and to be called the king's friend. And therewithal he sent him a purple robe and a crown of gold, and required thee to take our part and keep friendship with us.
Okay. Let me ask you this.
Wow.
Why does Jonathan need the king to give him a
Tell him.
robe?
And
him to
you
tell
done did
him,
all of
right.
that. His big brother Judah done did all of that.
And Jonathan came back and laid the smack down, earned his right in the,
I mean,
the seat.
almost as much. It's like ridiculous. This is in the blood.
And now you're gonna proclaim it to the land?
Guys, this guy's wonderful.
Yeah.
Duh. This guy's a great fighter. Duh.
Duh.
Here's a robe for this guy because he's like a high priest. High priest, huh?
So
Yeah.
our people are the priest. We brought the order. We bring the word of the Most High.
Telling you.
And now you as a man, a king of men that believe not, that have no righteousness within, you want to now tell me that I can be the high priest of your lawlessness? Of your
thank you.
what? Go on, my brother.
Maybe he gets to do the swine sacrifices too.
Too many times do we think that when somebody comes to magnify us or edify us, that it's a good thing. You beware of the person with the smile that's patting you on the back.
Yes.
They used to say back in the 70s, watch your back pocket.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't believe in flattery.
Yeah, yeah.
Kill that
Flatter
noise.
without works
Kill that noise.
is what? You want to flatter us? Work. Don't say, need not know what we're doing or how well we're doing it. Need no pats on the backs. Work. If you want to show these two brothers your appreciation for what is being done,
Pull up.
work.
And work.
Yeah. Because the only praise we're looking for is from the Most High.
Verse 21. So in the 7th month of the 160th year, at the feast of the tabernacles, Jonathan put on the holy robe and gathered together forces and provided much armor. Whereof, when Demetrius heard, he was very sorry and said, What have we done, that Alexander had prevented us in making amity with the Jews to strengthen himself? I also will write unto them words of encouragement and promise them dignities and gifts, that I may have their aid.
Now hold up. Now see, if you're a vain person,
Yeah.
if you caught up all in yourself,
Yeah.
you sitting up there like, oh man, they got a bidding war for me. They really want me. I'm bad. It ain't got nothing to do with you.
That's what happens on social media.
Yeah. These two people have an interest. You are a pawn in it. It looks like you're receiving accolades and you're getting spoils and whatnot, but it's not. It's not given to you by the Most High. It's given to you because they're trying to make a position. So guess what? When the position changes, so does their feelings towards you, and so does that title that you supposedly have. So when you allow man to exalt you, when you allow man to put you in a position, then that man can take that position from you.
Because he changes the guard whenever he wants.
Whenever he wants. Because you gave up the goat, smiling in the face. Oh, you gave me a purple robe. Oh, you so cute.
Thank you.
Nah, partner.
I'll take your junk.
No.
I can make my own robe.
Yeah, thank you.
Verse 25.
I do like purple robes, though.
I know. That was to you. You like, ooh, look at this purple robe.
Yeah. I had to check myself though. As you can see, I'm in purple now. I'm a fan. But anyway, go ahead.
You like, nah, but this purple robe is fire though. It's fire. It's all velvety and stuff like that.
You see, Jonathan took the robe. He ain't take the alliance, but he took the robe. I'm just saying, there's lessons to be learned in all of
Judah
this. Okay?
loves purple robes. Facts.
Yes.
Verse 25. He sent unto them, therefore, to this effect, King Demetrius unto the people of the Jews, sending greetings. Whereas ye have kept covenants with us, and continued in our friendship, not joining yourselves with our enemies, we have heard hereof, and are glad.
Mm-hmm. So what he's saying, hold up. Understand that we were fighting with Demetrius.
Yep.
Demetrius gave us a letter to cool everything out and say, hey man, we got our beef, blah, blah, blah. You guys done some great things. Let's make a treaty. Now, when his competition heard that he was about to set up with the Jews, because see, those people, friendship is not really friendship. It's a friendly competition, right? It's a friendly competition. So they are partners only because it behooves them. It's comfortable. It's to their benefit. But they're always looking to get an edge on.
It keeps them in power.
It keeps them in power. So now they say, okay, our guy over there, we're friends for right now. We got no beef. But if he gets with the guys that's been his enemy, and that's been keeping him weak and been keeping him a little bit under me, now if he gets with them, then he can have a little bit of power and ask them to come to war against me. And Lord knows I don't want to fight Judah. Lord knows I don't want to fight Judah.
Judah and that? Oh,
right. So then the other guy comes and says, no, we're going to cut a sweeter deal. We're going to tell Judah, look, we'll give you the purple robe. We're going to give you this. We're going to lay it out for you.
He's about to go in.
Yeah.
You thought the purple robe and the crown was something? So when you get that little purple robe and crown and somebody else come around, like, no, baby, I got you. I got you.
He gave you a purple robe, but did he put gold on you? He didn't put gold on your robe.
He didn't lace your robe.
Let me show you how you lay, bro. So now we at the point where the other king has made the offer. Judah said, cool, I wear the purple robe. Now the one that gave the first initial gift, Demetrius, it's like, okay, how can I come around and make the deal sweeter so that he'll rock with me and not rock with the other one?
Alexander.
And not rock with Alexander. So now, like I say, if you're smart, if you believe in the Most High, when that situation happens with you, you got 4 or 5 people trying to vie for your business or vie for your attention. If you don't believe in nothing that they're telling you, and you believe in the Most High, and you're meditating, and you know where your strength comes from, it'll be clear your path. And in this one, the path is to take all the spoils. Wow, you never heard that before, huh? In scripture where you get all the wins, right?
Well, it's gonna be interesting.
If you believe in the Most High only and know that he has brought these people to you and that he will make them do whatever you want them to do, as opposed to figuring that you got to work with them to get what you want. If you understand that the power is already with you, which Judah does, when he knows that the power is already with him, he can take the spoils of this person and that person's offerings and not be tainted by it, not be coerced by it, not lose themselves in accepting a gift.
Yeah. Look at how they have to give it. Look at what they have to say to give a gift to him.
To Judah, right?
Oh, Judah, like I could read it back, but you go back and see how they have to word a gift. To give it to him.
Right. We don't want no beef, no problem. We're going to start off with that.
Nah, no
Judah,
problem.
man, we done heard. Right?
They felt it because you marked a lot of
A lot of people. A lot of people. So understand that when you stand up and you start showing that inner glow of the Most High, when you got that third eye working and the Most High has got your face bright with confidence, mine is so bright I'm popping out, you heard? But when you are bright like that, everybody's gonna offer you things. Everybody's gonna tell you you're great. It's like Art by Shimano got a whole bunch of people now wanting the artwork after getting the commission piece. If you fall into that trap that I'm banging now, you know what I'm saying? That I'm just, you know what I'm saying? Then you lose sight of the work. Because the work is why the Most High blesses you. It's the work. If you enjoy working for the Most High, you enjoy doing that work, then it's not work. Then it's what you do. It's your lifestyle. And when it becomes your lifestyle, then you see all of his blessings that is planted around you. And then when it comes around, you know you can pick whatever flower you choose.
And it's going to taste good too. That's for me.
Not that. More. And then there's more. Right? So understand that. He is at the point where he has shown and proved, he has sacrificed, he went through so many problems, trials and tribulations and turmoil. Now they're at the point where Judah is actually being able to receive its rewards. So, and this is how you handle it when you have belief in the Most High. You know the Most High has put your enemies at your footstool. Go on, brother.
Verse 27. Wherefore now continue ye still to be faithful unto us, and we will well recompense you for the things ye do in our behalf, and will grant you many immunities and give you rewards. And now do I free you, and for your sake I release all the Jews from tributes and from the customs of salt and from crown taxes.
See, this is Demetrius, right? Because we're still in this land.
Yeah.
Alexander we got a treaty with, but we're in Demetrius' land. So now Demetrius is like, look, y'all ain't got to worry about taxes. Y'all just leave Alexander. Go ahead, my brother.
And from that, and by the way, this deals with like seasoning and salt, like the spices. Like we're the tribe that spices their food, actually.
Yes.
Can I get a hallelujah up in this piece? Like, can I just... Verse 30. And from that which appertaineth unto me to receive for the third part of the seed and the half of the fruit of the trees, I release it from this day forth, so that they shall not be taken of the land of Judea, nor of the three governments which are added thereonto.
Three governments? Do we have three governments right now? Do we have three governments? Do we have three branches of government right now? But this is ancient, though. This is nonsensical.
Same exact governments. Yeah, it's the same.
Same thing. So long. I just want to point that out. Yeah.
Relatives, the same people, same battle.
Same people. You just don't know the two the Hebrews. Yeah. That's all. Good.
Yeah.
Furthermore.
Yeah. Yes. Unto the country, out of the country of Samaria and Galilee, from this day forth forevermore. Let Jerusalem also be holy and free, with the borders thereof.
Yes.
Both from tenths and tributes.
Tenths and tributes.
Yes. Remember, you're giving a tenth of your monies. Yes, you're just free from that now. Sure. And as for the tower which is at Jerusalem, I yield up my authority over it and give it to the high priest, that he may set in it such men as he shall choose to keep it.
Oh, now we know what we be doing now. We can do whatever we want. We clear. We the G's. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 33, moreover, I freely set at liberty every one of the Jews that were carried captives out of the land of Judea into any part of my kingdom, and I will that all my officers remit the tributes, even of their cattle.
Even back to food, man. Like, look, if they gave up their cattle, give it back to them. If you ain't chopped them up, look, if you ain't ate them, send it back.
Trying to make these Jews happy.
Yeah,
to accommodate them.
Yes.
Red carpet. Verse 34. Furthermore, I will that all the feasts and Sabbaths and new moons and solemn days and the 3 days before the feast and the 3 days after the feast shall be all days of immunity and freedom for all the Jews in my realm.
I mean, come on.
Because
When
that's how they lived.
Right. When we were at Pocahontas in Mississippi, they had feast days. The reason for the mound was for the feast days. They came there, every tribe from all areas, on the feast days and the Sabbaths came to the mound where they gave praise and cooked and ate.
Come on, yo.
Where else is that happening? Tell me where else that's happening that we can prove it in Americas. The same thing we're seeing here. Man. Y'all, I guess. Go ahead, go on, my brother.
Verse 35. Also, no man shall have authority to meddle with them or to molest any of them in any manner. Because they was getting molested. I will further that there be enrolled among the king's forces about 30,000 men of the Jews, unto whom pay shall be given, as belongeth to all the king's forces. And of them some shall be placed in the king's strongholds, of whom also some shall be set over the affairs of the kingdom, which are of trust.
So what they say is not only we get to do whatever we do, practice our feast days, but we now gonna put y'all in positions of power in my kingdom. I'm gonna make y'all some mayors, make you a couple of state reps, I'm gonna get you a little senator here. Go home, my brother.
Yeah. And I will that their overseers and governors be of themselves, and that they live after their own lives, even as the king hath commanded in the land of Judea. And concerning the 3 governments that are added to Judea from the country of Samaria, let them be joined with Judea, that they may be reckoned to be under one. Under one.
Under Judah?
One nation under.
They giving Judah lands now. They giving Judah people. You understand what I'm saying? We talking real tributes here.
Yes. That they may be reckoned to be under one, nor bound to obey other authority than the high priest. As for Ptolemy,
it was all so simple then, you know.
and the land pertaining thereto, I give it as a free gift to the sanctuary at Jerusalem for the necessary expenses of the sanctuary. Moreover, I give every year 15,000 shekels of silver out of the king's accounts from the places appertaining.
Hey, man, look. What else can I give you, man? Look.
And all the overplus, the surplus, which the officers paid not in as in former time, from henceforth shall be given toward the work of the temple.
They talking about giving up overtime money going
The
to
slush fund, that little build up the slush fund. Like, you got slush fund right there, we keep building up.
Can you imagine how we will come up right now, Judah, New Orleans? We just got the overtime from the cops. If they just gave New Orleans North, the kids in the community, all the overtime that the police make here, if we invested just the overtime into the schools and into the kids' play recreation, transform the entire city. But I know we talking crazy. But not here. It seems like this happens. This sort of thing happens.
Yeah, it does. When you get aligned, it does, I guess.
Yeah.
But whatever, let's just keep
Let's
reading.
keep reading, you know.
Verse 42. And beside this, the 5,000 shekels of silver, which they took from the uses of the temple out of the accounts year by year, even those things shall be released, because they appertain to the priests that minister. And whosoever they be that flee unto the temple at Jerusalem, or be within the liberties thereof, being indebted into the king, or for any other matter, let them be at liberty, and all that they have in my realm.
Wow.
For the building also and repairing of the works of the sanctuary expenses shall be given of the king's accounts. Yea, and for the building of the walls of Jerusalem and the fortifying thereof round about, expenses shall be given out of the king's accounts, as also for the building of the walls in Judea.
Now we getting walls, man. We got governors,
Finally
we got
walls.
mayors,
got-
we get money, we get the overtime.
It's getting good.
I mean,
A
40
little-
acres and a mule
little
seems a
too
little.
good.
I know 40 acres and a mule seems real low compared to what we got broke off when we left out of there.
You know,
anyway,
you have more of a force though.
true. More righteous men,
Yeah.
more righteous women, more people that understood who the Most High was, more online. So we got
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
Oh, so we getting less now because we're not aligned and we don't know who we are. You,
Yeah.
you think that would be why we
that'd be-
sporadically get things?
That'd be it.
I mean, we don't know these things, man.
You know what?
scientists.
Listen, we're learning.
We're
Right?
learning. We're all learning together.
Wow.
We're 44.
Yeah, 45. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. 45. Yea, and for the building of the walls of Jerusalem and the fortifying thereof round about, expenses shall be given out of the king's accounts, and also for the building of the walls in Judea. Yes. Now when Jonathan and the people heard these words, they gave no credit unto them, nor received them, for he had afflicted them very sore.
Very sore. So wait.
You remember
somebody rolled out the carpet and they said, no escalades,
They gave no credit.
no 40 acres in the
They were
mule,
like, whatever.
no pat on the backs, billboard saying today is the new lit.
I think they might have went to
Oh,
your blockies.
you blackies. Well, let's continue on, my brother.
Block. Yes. Verse 47. But with Alexander, they were well pleased because he was the first that treated of true peace with them, and they were confederate with him always.
So what does that say, Judah? Loyalty is what we're
Loyalty.
about, right? None of that flip-flop.
Yeah.
Who comes in good spirit, cleanse, we rock with.
Once you break loyalty, savage mode is in full effect. Verse 48. Then gathered King Alexander great forces and camped over against Demetrius. And after the two kings had joined battle, Demetrius' host fled, but Alexander followed after him and prevailed against them. And he continued the battle very sore until the sun went down. And that day was Demetrius slain.
Slain.
Afterward, yep.
Wait. So you go from giving up everything to your throat, basically giving up the blood.
Because he already knew it was over. He knew his time was come. That's all he could do is give it all up before he goes. So at least he'll be remembered as somebody that did.
Didn't it sound like all the things he rolled out? Didn't it sound like a desperate man that had maybe something into his back or to his temple that he just wanted to give
I'll give you anything you want, I'll give you
everything
anything
you
you
want. But anyway, we go on. You know, we're righteous here.
Verse 51. After Alexander sent ambassadors to Ptolemy, king of Egypt, with a message to this effect. For as much as I am come again to my realm, and am set in the throne of my progenitors, and have gotten the dominion and overthrown Demetrius, and recovered our country.
By just being friends with Judah, he was blessed. By being friends of Judah, he was blessed. Our scripture says, those who bless us are blessed, and those who curse us are cursed. I think that was a perfect example of this right here.
Yes, it is.
Go on, my brother.
Verse 53. For after I had joined battle with him, both he and his host was discomfited by us, so that we sit in the throne of his kingdom. Now therefore let us make a league of amity together, and give me now thy daughter to wife, and I will be thy son-in-law, and will give both thee and her gifts according to thy dignity.
See,
That's power.
we talking marriage. It's like, yo,
Listen.
we running this, right? So look,
Let's move forward.
you and my daughter, let's make this, let's stop playing. Let's just make this kingdom and do this right. Y'all are righteous. We're going to be righteous. We're going to work with this. Go ahead.
This is serious business here. Then Ptolemy the king gave answer, saying, Happy be the day wherein thou didst return into the land of thy fathers, and sattest in the throne of their kingdom. And now will I do to thee as thou hast written. Meet me therefore at Ptolemy, that we may see one another, for I will marry my daughter to thee according to thy desire. So Ptolemy went out of Egypt with his daughter Cleopatra.
What? Who? With his daughter who?
That definitely says Cleopatra.
Huh. Now, because y'all may want to, because he did say Egypt, right?
Yes.
The people in Egypt, I mean, Cleopatra, was she Elizabeth Taylor? I don't believe Elizabeth Taylor would have been able to live in this market right here, this weather like this.
No, I think her skin would peel back.
Yeah, so go on, my brother. I'm sorry, I just.
Yeah.
So you see the color, Cleopatra, Egypt, black, all that good stuff.
The likeness was already, they already supposed to steal it already. It says that. Verse 57. 58 rather.
You got it, Cleopatra.
Yeah. So Ptolemy went out of Egypt with his daughter Cleopatra, and they came unto Ptolemy in the 162nd year.
So that means that the Egyptians and the Romans were becoming one.
Yes.
Don't let that pass you. The Egyptians and the Greeks are marrying to have one to make their kingdom. At the time, the Greeks is friends with Judah only to beat other Greeks. Now they done beat those Greeks down. Now they're going to partner with Egypt and marry. We all know already that all of the Greek gods came from Hermetic belief system, which is Egypt, which is Thoth and all of these different,
all of them guys, all of them dudes.
All of them are the same. So their belief system and their gods are the same, just different names for the colors.
Yeah, interchangeable, man.
And now we see that they married into each other off of us. I just wanted to catch that for y'all. Go ahead, my brother.
Yep, sad but true.
That's why it's a history book.
Verse 58. Where King Alexander, meeting him, gave unto him his daughter Cleopatra, and celebrated her marriage at Ptolemy.